Should you call your insurance company to ask if you have the coverage? And what happens when you do? I'm Justin.
And I am Aaron.
And this is Insurance Hacks, where we use our considerable years of insurance experience to help you hack your way through the jungle that is being a modern insurance consumer. So the question today is, should you call your company direct and ask them, do I have this coverage?
You know, I think this is one that trips up a lot of people, especially because about 70% of consumers buy their insurance directly from the carrier or directly from a carrier's exclusive representative.
Absolutely. And we've made a video before that tells you why those two aren't the best option, but we're going to cement that today, I hope, with today's video. So we had this happen in our office. One of our senior executive advisors has a neighbor who they
were covered with us, and during the winter storm, we lost power for several days.
And, you know, apparently he's a Costco shopper and he had his freezer full of meat. So there was a lot of talk on the streets about, hey, you got spoilage coverage, you got spoilage coverage. So he called his insurance company himself and asked them, do they have this coverage? And he didn't have it anyway. They were real polite about it, and he hung up the phone and moved on.
Yeah. Fast forward a few months and renewal time comes and his rates have gone through the roof. Not because of this, but just because that's what's happening right now in this market.
Yep.
And so he needed to look around. So we were doing our annual review where we call our client and we look at different options for them. And as we looked around, we found something on the Clue report, this $0 claim from a few months prior.
He forgot about it. We didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So
talked to the client about it. He told us the story. We called the underwriter at the new carrier to say, hey, this is no big deal. Let's not hammer him for this. And they said, no, it's on the report. It's got to stay in the rating. We can't take it off unless we get a letter from the previous insurance company, which is a lot of work and a lot of hassle. And really, I think we're still working on that because it's not an easy thing to do to say that this claim wasn't really a claim. But this one obviously wasn't. They didn't give you, he did not even have the coverage, and here he is paying the price for it.
you know why?
Why?
Well, because if you call to inquire about a claim, insurance statistics say that you're going to make one within the next 12 months. And that may make you grit your teeth more than you already are, because if you're sitting here on YouTube watching insurance videos, I'm sure your teeth are ground down to nubs. And this sounds like they're cheating me, but they're not, because it's statistics. Insurance is all based on statistics. And while this may be the only phone call he ever makes to the insurance company, it's still statistically, there's a big chunk of people that it will result in a claim.
Now, the upside to this is he is not getting a higher renewal because he made this call.
No.
He just gets locked in. This is a retention tactic by insurance carriers. This is a way, I mean, you've got a lot of profit here if you can keep a client whose rates are going up, and while they inquire about claims, they don't actually make any claims. So it's sticky. It makes you stay with that carrier and keeps the other carrier leery of you.
When you're trying to go to another carrier, they see that you're trying to make a claim and they don't want to be on the hook in 12 months when you paid 10 months worth of premium, right? So that's the reasoning why. Now, how do you avoid this?
The best way to avoid it is make sure that you are working with someone who has a fiduciary duty to you. Spoiler alert, that's only independent insurance agents.
Oh, wait a minute. That can't be true. What about a captive agent?
If you work for a captive agent, you have a contract that is signed that says this is what you're going to do. This is the process you must comply with. Independent agents don't have that same contract.
Right. And this may sound like a bold-faced commercial, but it really is. Truthfully, in 2024, we are a DIY world, for better or for worse. There's good things that have come out of it.
And that's where this guy really went wrong, actually. His agent was his neighbor and independent. He could have walked over, he could have texted, could have said, hi in the alley, I've got this question for you. It's not like you're sitting around waiting for the insurance company to cut you a check before you go and refill your food and buy more food.
Right.
There's going to be a process. So he could have gotten with his agent. He's learned that lesson, unfortunately, the hard way. Right. We've had to work very hard to overcome his error, but we've been able to do that because we have a vested interest in making sure that it happens. We have clout. We have the ability to do that, whereas even with a captive or a direct carrier, they don't have a plan B anyways.
Right.
They don't have another carrier they could take you with, so it doesn't matter with them, but you want options. Even if you're with a captive carrier or a direct writer, you are going to want to shop at some point and see if there's something better out there. And when you do you want these claims that they didn't pay anything?
Right, to make it hard?
Yeah, to make it
or to
hard
make
on
it
you?
expensive,
Yeah.
whatever that looks like. It's 2024. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't pay anything for an independent agent.
Yeah.
The companies pay us to find business for them, but the benefit you get from that,
I would say most independent agents, watch out for policy fees from some of them out there.
some companies that charge a policy fee. If it's not commercial, have your eyes out of policy. But in general, you don't have to do it yourself. And really, why would you? You have a job, you have a career, you have a thing that you do. No one likes insurance. I made a joke about gritting your teeth. You're watching this because you got a problem and you want to solve it, right? And so solve it the easy way by working with an independent agent. It's one of the fastest growing ways to buy insurance in the United States. And really, it's the best for consumers because we work for clients.
You know, we like to say, we work for clients, not for companies. Sorry, I cut them off there. But we also, like to say, tell it ain't selling.
Yeah.
And some of you out there are disagreeing with everything that Justin says. So here is the other way where you can continue to do it yourself. You are going to need to get a copy of your policy, and you're going to need to read that policy and understand whether or not you have coverage for spoilage or whatever it is that is ailing you at the time.
And don't make a call unless you're 100% sure you have that coverage and it's appropriate. Because here's the thing we didn't say. If the only thing you're claiming is spoilage, a good agent's going to say, don't do that.
Even if they have a $500 deductible so that it doesn't cost you as much as your 1%, it's still a claim. Again, retention tactic. Let's give them a low deductible on this coverage that we can keep them around with that doesn't cost us an arm and a leg.
Right.
But at least it will keep them from being able to get a good quote somewhere else. So know what your coverage is, know what your deductible is, know how much it's going to cost to replace what it is that has been damaged, and like Justin said, know for sure that this is a claim worth making, make it, and then pay for it for the next 5 years.
Or call an independent agent. Work with a professional who's made a career in this and reap the results forever. Everybody wants to save money on their insurance, and here's the truth of how you save money on insurance. You establish a good, long-standing relationship with an independent professional who knows you, understands the risks that you have, and tries to make sure that you are protected from disaster.
Yeah, and this may be biased, but really, an independent agent is going to bring you value at pennies on the dollar, because you're not going to have to spend your time reading through coverage, making that decision and owning that decision on whether or not this was a smart one to make.
Right.
So whether you talk to us or you talk to somebody, I highly encourage you to talk to an independent agent and save yourself a lot of hassle and potential big expenses at claim time by making sure you got coverage that fits your needs and you know when to use it.
If you have any questions for us, we won't charge you. Leave them in the comments down below. We'd love to answer them. We'll even make a video for you if it's a good enough question. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and come back and see us next time.